Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen, and a happy Sabbath to all the Sabbath keepers watching the channel. I love to say that every Saturday because I know there are those who keep the Sabbath. Ladies and gentlemen, the culture of accept and move on is a culture that we must eradicate because there is a culture in this country that leaders would engage in acts of lawlessness, and then they will tell people accept and move on. This started, I think, in 2013 when Ngwini Mutai said that the election were won when Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto came together and they asserted that their numbers spoke for themselves. And then after the election, we were told, accept and move on. And that has been the narrative. We understand that Kenyans are mourning. And if there is a family that needs prayers, those are families of the fallen heroes, the 9 gallant soldiers who died from the untold plane crash. But you've realized that there is a group running in social media telling people accept and move on, let the family of Ogolla rest, bury their son in peace and all that. And you understand that we need to pray for them. But when certain deaths are surrounded with uncertainty and unexplained circumstances, you don't just tell people to move on. And they're now taking advantage and playing with the emotions that we need to let these families bury their sons and daughters. People must speak because there are questions that are not yet answered. Dr. William Mutunga, the former Chief Justice, weighed in this discussion, and it is a kind of confrontation to the UDA government. Dr. is saying this: given the tragedy that engulfs our country now, a country of rumors and ethnic divisions, it is a good idea to immediately set up a commission of inquiry that has robust public participation. An inquiry that is seen as a cover-up is unacceptable. An inquiry that is seen as a cover-up is unacceptable. You will all agree with Dr. William Mutunga that this country is full of rumors now. You've seen some choppers being given to us that this is the chopper that was shot and all that. I want you to listen to this, ladies and gentlemen, because by the end of this analysis, I will tell you that if there is any person or a group of people who conspired to kill General Ogolla, that person or those people are the most foolish people in the world, and I will show you why. There's a guy here called Dr. Dan Ojowa. I don't know that Dan Ojowa lives in this country. I think he's a man who lives somewhere in the US or abroad. This is what Dan Ojowa is saying, because the courage that he's exhibiting here, he's saying, I won't mince my words. General Ogolla who has been assassinated. We want answers from Ruto government. The accident must be investigated by the FBI and nothing else. So people like Ojowa is, they're telling you this guy was assassinated. I'm trying to support Dr. William Mutunga that if William Ruto is not careful, the pain and the division in the country continues to widen, because some people are now speaking loudly and they're saying this man has been assassinated. Now, Dr. Ekur Okot, a person who I'm following very closely because we read from the same page, Ojowa believes that the FBI can help investigate this matter. I disagree, just as Dr. Ekur Okot disagrees. Any investigation from the US or the UK, this NATO group of countries, cannot help. This is what Dr. is saying, Dr. now Ekur Okot. You trust the FBI to give a truthful and accurate report in light of the ongoing global political cajoling of our government? The Chinese and the Russians are more likely to uncover what actually happened, but of course, they will never be asked to help. I strongly believe that Scotland Yard, FBI, all those cannot help unravel this because they are part and parcel of this government. They are the people who catapulted Ruto into the position where he is. So Ojoa feels that we need an independent inquiry, but it cannot be FBI. Ladies and gentlemen, you've even seen, I don't want to read further, people are saying that right now the government is bedeviled with very many problems. Doctor strike, fake fertilizers, accidents, and corruption. And so others are even alleging that they needed to assassinate someone of the caliber of Ogolla, so that it diverts the attention of people to stop for a moment talking about the corruption and wastage as has been explained by the Auditor General and the Control of Budget. In light of the rumors, people feel that we need an independent inquiry. But of course, in my earlier video, I explained why we cannot have a proper result. And I don't want to delve into that now. I want us to explain why the person, if at all, because you know, political assassinations did not begin today. Even in the US, people like Martin Luther King Jr., J.F. Kennedy, those people met their struggle to expand the democratic space with their lives. J.M. Kariuki, Pio Gama Pinto, Tom Mboya, these are people who were assassinated in circumstances that no one understands. And you go to the archives, it is believed that they were victims of political assassination. So this is also another people suspect. And these rumors can only be, in fact, Raila yesterday said that for the country to have peace, we need an independent and transparent investigation. I don't know whether we can have such an investigation. But I want to explain to you why the person, if at all this guy was assassinated, then the person who did this was the most stupid person. Why am I saying this? General Ogolla, I think he has died at 51. According to the Tonje rules, a person who is the CDF is supposed to retire at 62. I stand to be corrected. And so, this man was supposed to retire by next year. Ladies and gentlemen, this is 2024. This person is supposed to retire by 2025. Even if you have such hatred, even if you are so jealous, surely, why can't you just let this person, in a matter of a year or two, he will retire and let you do whatever you want? Even if you are inhuman to what capacity, why couldn't you just let this man? He has served the nation for 40 years. If at all there is anyone or any persons who connived to kill this man, that is the most foolish and the most foolish kind of act that can ever happen. You know, if General Ogolla was maybe 50, and maybe someone was trying to envisage that he will hold that position for maybe 10 years, then maybe you'd consider, okay, maybe these people killed him because of his age and he had to serve for all those years. And remember, I'm not taking a position that he was killed. We are looking at the speculations that must be unraveled, because the way things are moving, really, there are questions that are being asked. So based on his age and the fact that he was to retire next year, Luos are asking, especially those from Alego, why? Why couldn't the government do enough to protect him? I'm not saying that the government killed him, but why could they do enough? Because the government enjoys, intelligence. They have the best engineers. Why could they do enough to protect him? So if at all someone did it, why do you have to kill someone who will retire next year? Why? Number two, ladies and gentlemen, was he really forgiven? Because Dr. Kuro Okot, in one of his tweets, says that it is obvious when the UDA government came to power, they said that Ogolla was the one who wanted to overturn their victory. But was he really forgiven? There has been this argument that maybe he was appointed because William Ruto never wanted to go against the military council that have always operated under Tonje rule. And so they're asking, did the Ruto government really forgive him based on that very fact? Ruto said it himself, based on the fact that people like Sudi warned him, Duale and all those people. Was he really forgiven? And then the question comes in, if you know that you have not forgiven someone, why do you appoint him and then later he's no more? It would be better that he was not appointed in that position. Did they trust him in the first place? These are questions that are being answered. It is the most stupid thing that one can do, that I don't forgive you, I don't trust you, yet I still appoint you, and then we don't protect you when some people are pursuing to kill you. Ladies and gentlemen, Luos have died just like many other tribes because of what is suspected to be political assassination. And if you listen to what people are saying, the undertones, some are asking, is it a crime to be a Luo? They have already, produced songs asking, what did we do? And they are asking about Tomboya, Ouko, Oyugi, Mbai, Musando. And they're asking, is it a crime to be a Luo? Like I said, if there is a time to unite, it is this moment. The last question that Luos are asking, many had argued that Ogolla wanted to overturn Ruto's rule so that Raila, who is seen to be his brother, to take over. In 2027, if at all Raila was to contest, Ogolla was not going to be there. So there's no way he was going to help Raila. He's retiring by 2025. 2 years before the next elections. He was not going to have any influence. If anything, the state capture, the IEBC is in the pocket, the Supreme Court is in the pocket. How was Ogolla, even if he was to be there, how was he going to help? In Kenya, you only need to be announced as a president. You are declared at the Supreme Court by the IEBC chair. Then it is done. When the case is taken to the Supreme Court, it is hot air and wild goose chase. So was Ogolla posing any threat? Was he going to block anyone to become a leader in this country? Not at all. He was going to retire. If at all anyone, any people decided to end his life, it will be the most stupid thing. This guy had served the country. We needed to have given him time to enjoy his retirement with his children and his wife and the family. I do not see, and Luos are asking, was there any reason? Like Robert Alai said, this guy died a natural death because Ruto gains nothing by killing. That is what Alai said, because people are now pointing fingers, accusing fingers to Ruto because he's the head of state and the commander-in-chief of all the armed forces. He's the one who claimed that Ogolla general wanted to overturn his victory. At the same time, he says, I appointed Ogolla because he explained to me and I understood. But because he's the president, the buck stops with him. Investigations stop with him. Everything stops with him. Luos are pained because they have suffered political assassinations. People were killed on the streets, and you saw how Luos were being retrieved from Kisumu. Ogolla was a national civil servant serving the whole nation, but he was also a Luo. And I'm just giving you a report of what people are saying, especially the Luos. They're asking what is really happening. happening and they are looking for answers. I can assure you that if there is an epitome of the definition of wild goose chase, it is this one. Because those who are chasing for the truth will never get it. Many people are saying we leave it to God because God is the giver of life and He alone has the authority to take that life. I don't know what you think, ladies and gentlemen, but that's my take.